It's about time I made a video. I've spent probably well north of like 2 or 3 months trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to do for a video. But then I started TikTok streaming. That made the decision pretty easy. It was literally about every fourth question was, how much is your rig? How much is your setup? What kind of things do you have on your setup? Why do you have a setup? I'm sick of answering the same question over and over again, so I'm just gonna go through it. If you've ever been to one of my Twitch streams, you know I really love to move my rig around. Honestly, this is probably the 6th time it's moved in like the last 3 months. I'm kind of starting to get sick of it, but I really love messing around with stuff. And it's kind of cool to try out new hardware.
Oh, where did those go? Aha!
These haven't seen the light of day in like a year. Excuse me, Pip. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the old tiny little, the default legs that come with the Track Racer TR120, and I'm changing them out for some old desk feet that I had from a desk like 3 years ago. They're a little bit wider, a little bit better for carpet, especially since we just got new carpet in here. I don't really want to put holes through the carpet or through the padding. So I'm gonna put these on, and then I have some carpet or furniture slides, I think is what they're called, something like that, just to make sure that the Track Racer can, slide on the carpet a little better. All right, it's a couple hours later. I went off, had some dinner, went to the casino, lost all my money. But I kind of finished up what I was planning on doing with the rig tonight. Still waiting on a few T-nuts for the 80/20 profile so that I could put the pedals that I have fully on the rig, which I'll show you in a little bit, as opposed to using a pedal plate, which makes it a little bit cleaner, looks a little better. I'll show you what it looks like now. So another question I get asked a ton, probably 5, 6, 7 times every single stream is why I went with Moza. So if you don't know why I went with Moza, actually Moza Racing contacted me end of last year, end of 2021. I actually did a little bit of script writing for them for some of their installation videos. So I wrote some of that stuff, and then around the beginning of spring this year, they messaged me and they were like, hey, do you want to test out the new R9 and CS rim? And I was like, duh, of course. So they sent me those products, and then later on in the year, they sent me the SRP pedals. If they didn't send me these and I had tried them out, I 100% would still buy them with my money. They are absolutely phenomenal wheels, wheelbases, pedals. I actually think the SRP pedals were better than my V3s, and that says something. So yeah, here's the Moza R9 wheelbase. It's 9 Newton meters of force. It's about the same price as the CSL Direct Drive from Fanatec. I honestly believe that this one feels a little bit better. Of course, you have that ecosystem within Fanatec where you can use any of their wheels, but Moza is rapidly working on more wheels, so I think it's a great bang for buck, especially if you're looking for a direct drive with, moderate force feedback. So I know a lot of people always talk about pedals. They're, get the V3s, get Husinvelds, get, what are the new ones? The other Ace Attacks that came out, the Fortes. get all of those, try those out. Honestly, I looked at all the reviews, I looked at everything that people said, and I really wanted a hydraulic brake. I don't know why. It was just straight out of the blue, like, hey, I want a hydraulic brake. So I messaged a buddy of mine, Jonathan Cadell. He's a Twitch streamer, TikTok streamer now as well.
Yes! Yes! F y'all!
He recently got some new pedals from SimMagic, and they're called the P2000s. Holy shit, I bought them. They are incredible. I mean, this is only 2 of the pedals right now, just the throttle and the brake. I have to wait for more T-nuts to come in from Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. Those should be in the morning. I'll be able to get this all up and working. But holy crap, like, the throttle itself is actually a load cell. It's not a potentiometer, it's a load cell. So there's a little spring down here at the base there that pushes down on that lever, which is the load cell. And that's how that generates force. So the more that you push down, the more force it makes. Therefore, the more it pushes down the gas. Along with it, there's a damper here, which you can actually change. Thanks, Dusk. So the damper, you can actually change the different values. I prefer 3 with the setting that I have. I kind of have it pushed back a little bit, so it's a little bit shorter of a throw, but it's still pretty long of a throw. I like that for the NASCAR racing just because, tire saving off of corners is massive. So you need to be very careful on the throttle, easy on that throttle, and yeah. So next up is the brake. I mean, it's a full-blown hydraulic brake. The hydraulic cylinder here, you have a reservoir, and then you have the brake system. It doesn't go off of brake force though, which is kind of weird. It doesn't go off of the pressure force from the hydraulic fluid. It uses springs, and then it has a load cell on it. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't actually have the T-nuts to install it right now, but when it is installed, it'll kind of be installed like that right by the throttle, just so that I'm not crimping any lines or breaking any fittings. But yeah, so as these springs compress, there's a load cell right at the top, and that's how it measures the force. It's kind of cool. It works very well, and I mean, it just takes so much getting used to, going from a regular load cell with this little expansion foam and then going to the springs. It's kind of cool. And of course, last but not least, the clutch. I put the green spring on, which is actually the stiffest spring. This is kind of the closest to what our 73 Camaro is that we have sitting down in the garage. It's pretty close to that, so I really enjoyed that super heavy feel. The actual feel of the clutch is kind of, it's weird. I think it's great because you actually get a defined bite point, except the bite point is so defined, and you have to do a little bit of adjustment within the settings, the actual SimMagic settings, in order to get it to register as that's kind of the bite point, so you can mess with the curves. I might do a little bit of a tutorial on that at some point in the future, just because once you get it set, it works so well. That bite point is exactly where the clutch will pick up, so it's, yeah, once you get it all set up, it's fantastic. A lot of people might be wondering why I'm not using the actual pedal plate that came with the P2000s. Let me tell you why. I really don't enjoy the aluminum, that like aluminum color, that silver color. I really don't enjoy that. I like the defined black and just, that matte black where it's just, you can't see any reflectivity. That's what I really like about it. Plus, being able to mount these directly to the rig just makes it a little bit easier for when you're troubleshooting and just messing around. If you got to take one of the pedals off, you only have to take one as opposed to the entire plate off. Well, I still have the rig pulled away. Here's my monitor setup. Actually, there are 2 rigs in this room, which is kind of interesting. So a few years back, I actually purchased my first rig. It was, beginning of 2020, right before COVID hit. I purchased my first track racer rig. It was a TR80. Absolutely awesome rig. Problem was, I had ordered the integrated triple monitor mount, which means that it attaches to the rig. That didn't show up until maybe August of the year, so I couldn't really do anything about that. But once I did get everything, integrated track, yeah, cool, whatever. I didn't really like it because as you steer, you really move the monitors around, and all that weight moving around, it's just constant shaking. So when this rig came in from Track Racer, they actually sponsored this rig. They sent this to me. Thank you, Track Racer. It's awesome. When this rig came in, I said, well, I have two choices. I can make a second rig with my Moza R5 that I have sitting in the closet back there, or I can make its own dedicated triple monitor mount. I went with the triple monitor mount. I was so sick of the shaking, so that's what that is. Basically, I have a TR80 just sitting there as a triple monitor mount. A lot of people would probably wonder why the PC is kind of turned away where I don't have the glass panel. It's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. In the PC, I have a Ryzen 7 5800X, as well as a RTX 3090, which that thing is absolutely phenomenal. Except I wish iRacing would utilize it more. It's very CPU dependent, so might have to upgrade the CPU at some point. And again, what kind of content creator would I be? Yeah, I hate saying that. I have to have a desk setup, of course, because I like playing Warzone. I like playing a bunch of other games, Overwatch. I just like going on video, like watching videos, making videos, editing photos, stuff like that. So here, I have a desk setup. It's an IKEA desk. I don't know what it's called. IKEA desk and, the legs. It was like $100. It's fantastic. So just two kind of generic monitors. But then I have a streaming PC. So the streaming PC handles all the encoding for both Twitch and TikTok, because if I were to stream on both at the exact same time on my gaming PC, I would maybe get 60 FPS on iRacing. So having this second PC really helps with that. Plus, if I just want to get off the rig and go over here and play other video games, I just have it all installed in this one, and I just hop on and boom, there we go. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. So with my microphone, I have a Shure SM7B. Best microphone you could possibly buy for either podcasting, live streaming, or just voiceovers in general. With that, I have a Go XLR. By far, probably the biggest purchase that you could ever make is a good interface for your microphone. The microphone is a big part of it, but if you get some generic, $40 or $60 interface, you're not going to get the full dynamic range of your microphone. So, a couple years back, I bought a Go XLR. I've been using it ever since. Absolutely phenomenal. And I was able to attach it to my rig, which made it kind of easy just to be able to sit down and use it as we go, because you have a bunch of samplers, which I can click them and they'll play sound clips for my Twitch stream, which is awesome. And then a bunch of sliders that I can use for changing game volume, music, microphone, headphones, all that sort of stuff. Plus, since I do use two PCs to stream, I don't have to use Voicemeeter Banana and try to wire everything from computer to computer. I actually just do it all through the Go XLR. You have your inputs and your outputs into the Go XLR, so I can hear everything that's going on with the Stream PC, and the Stream PC can hear everything that's going on with my PC. Absolutely phenomenal if you're trying to do a dual PC setup. All right, next day, I had a little bit of work to do at the office, so I went into the office this morning. It's now about noon, kind of done with my day. I just got the rig all finished up, got all the T-nuts that came in from Amazon this morning. So pedals are all installed. I'll show a little bit of that here in a second. There is one thing that I really want to show everybody, because if you have an 80/20 rig, it is by far probably the nicest little trick or hack that you could use to do a little bit of cable management. So Track Racer sends out their rigs. They send them with this, like, I don't know what to call it, like a plastic kind of lining that you can put in the tracks. Just cleans it up a little bit. You can kind of see it right down here along the side. What I actually do is I cut some of those long pieces. Here's a long piece on the stand that's actually holding some cables. And what I do is I put the cables in there, and then I kind of secure them with that, so it kind of covers it and holds them in there so that I don't have wires going along the side of the rig. So you can kind of see it's a little bit of a bird's nest down here, but that just makes it so much easier. So some of those little hacks that you can try to find within these rigs kind of make them like 10 times better than what they already are. I mean, they're fantastic as is, but if you can just find like one or two little things that's going to make your life 10 times easier, 100% do it. And I almost forgot, here are the pedals all mounted. I like to space out my throttle and my brake a bit more than my brake and my clutch, just because, you know, I'm not using the clutch very much, and having to extend my foot all the way out to reach the clutch kind of stinks. But I like to set it up so that I'm kind of sitting right in between, so that my legs are completely, you know, parallel with each other as I'm pushing down either the brake or the gas, because I keep my left on the brake and my right on the gas. So by doing that, I have a little bit more natural of feeling. I'm not having to cross one of my legs over the center of my body, which makes it a lot better for fatigue, and I feel like I get a lot more force in. So all this moving around kind of got everything a little bit messy. I'm gonna just clean up in here a little bit. All better. Before I wrap this up, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to both Track Racer and Moza Racing for supplying me with amazing supplies. The rig is the sturdiest rig. It's the TR120. By far the best rig I've ever sat in, ever tried, and I've tried a few. Moza Racing, thank you for sending over the wheelbase, the pedals that I have. I also have the Moza FSR that I didn't really feature in this video very much. All of their products are absolutely amazing. Both of the links will be down in the description if you do want to go and check out their stuff. I highly recommend you do. Even if you don't purchase, it's just good to get a knowledge of all the stuff that's out there. Lastly, I just want to thank everybody on both Twitch and TikTok for asking all these questions about all the stuff that I have. Everything that I have in my system, in my rig, I will list down in the description. That will have links and everything that you can go and check out all the stuff on your own. With that, let's move into a little bit of driving. Well, there you have it. So that's a little bit about my rig. I absolutely love it. Now that I got everything adjusted and set up the way that I want it, I don't think I'm even gonna have to change anything within the next couple months. I say that now. You know, something's gonna change here in the future. Thanks for joining along. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. If you aren't happy, dislike. I mean, I enjoy constructive criticism. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything different, if I didn't cover anything that you wanted to see. yeah, that covers it for this one. So I will see you on the next one. Sorry, I just have to show you Piper. She's so freaking cute. She's so cute. Chunky, chunky, chunky.